Hi, my name is Miss Gore and I'm a primary school teacher and I'm going to be sharing some of my favourite picture books with you today. This is called Voices in the Park by Anthony Browne. Have any of you read anything by Anthony Browne before? I know my class has. They've read this one, Into the Forest. So let's begin. It's a book told in 4 voices. So this is the first voice. It was time to take Victoria, our pedigree Labrador, and Charles, our son, for a walk. When we arrived at the park, I let Victoria off her lead. Immediately, some scruffy mongrel appeared and started bothering her. I shooed it off, but the horrible thing chased her all over the park. Oh dear. I ordered it to go away, but it took no notice of me whatsoever. Sit, I said to Charles. Here. Sounds like a bit of a strict mum. I was just planning what we should have to eat that evening when I saw Charles had disappeared. Oh dear, where had he gone? You get some frightful types in the park these days. I called his name for what seemed like an age. Hope she finds him. Then I saw him talking to a very rough-looking child. Charles, come here. At once, I said. And come here, please, Victoria. We walked home in silence. There they go, off they go home. Second voice. Do you notice that each of the different voices has a different font for the writing? I needed to get out of the house, so me and Smudge took the dog to the park. I wonder who Smudge is. Ah, there's Smudge here. Look at all the things going on in this picture. What can you see? He loves it there. I wish I had half the energy he's got. Him running. Oh, the forest looks a bit dark, doesn't it? And a bit spooky. I settled on a bench and looked through the paper for a job. I know it's a waste of time, really, but you've got to have a bit of hope, haven't you? Then it was time to go. Smudge cheered me up. She chatted happily to me all the way home. Here they go, going home. Also some rather strange things going on in that picture. What can you spot? There's even something going on up here. Third voice. I was at home on my own again. Who do you think's talking at this point? Yeah, I think it's this boy here. It's so boring. Then Mummy said that it was time for our walk. There was a very friendly dog in the park and Victoria was having a great time. Ah, so this is the boy from the beginning. I wished I was. They do look like they're having a good time. Look at the trees. Don't they look funny? What do they remind you of? What shape does that remind you of? Do you want to come on the slide? A voice asked. It was a girl, unfortunately, but I went anyway. She was brilliant on the slide. She went really fast. I was amazed. Wow, look at that picture of them on the slide. Wouldn't you like to do that? Gosh, that would be so fun. The 2 dogs raced around like old friends. The girl took off her coat and swung on the climbing frame, so I did the same. She looks really happy, doesn't she? What about him? What do you think he feels? Yeah, I don't think he's so confident, is he? I'm good at climbing trees, so I showed her how to do it. Ah, he's found something he is good at. She told me her name was Smudge. A funny name, I know, but she's quite nice. Then Mummy caught us talking together and I had to go home. Maybe Smudge will be there next time. Hopefully she will. Off they go back home. Fourth voice. Whose voice do you think this will be? Dad had been really fed up, so I was pleased when he said we could take Albert to the park. Albert's always in such a hurry to be let off his lead. He went straight up to this lovely dog and sniffed its bum. He always does that. Of course, the other dog didn't mind, but its owner was really angry, the silly twit. I got talking to this boy. So that must have been Smudge that's telling this story. I thought he was a bit of a wimp at first, but he's okay. We played on the seesaw and he didn't say much, but later on he was a bit more friendly. Look at this strange picture here. What can you spot in the background? This book is full of strange pictures of different things. Look at them on the seesaw, having a lot of fun. We both burst out laughing when we saw Albert having a swim. Gosh, look at the picture. The dogs are having a swim. Then we all played on the bandstand and I felt really, really happy. Such a colourful picture, that one. Charlie picked a flower and gave it to me. Then his mum called him and he had to go. He looked sad. Does look a bit upset in that picture, look. Looks like he wants to go back and play. When I got home, I put the flower in some water and made Dad a nice cup of tea. If you look at that picture, look, it looks like what happened that day with the dogs. So that was the end of that book. It'd be really good to hear what you thought of it, whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it. You can leave some comments below. And if you go through it again, if you watch the video again, you can spot all the different strange pictures in the background, which are really fun. Maybe you can write down what you notice in all the different pictures. There are a lot of hats, which is an interesting one. I wonder why. Anyway, I'll be back soon. It was lovely to share that story with you. Goodbye.